Prepare for launch. 3, 2, 1.
Blockchain basically solve a few problems: the traceability, identity, authentications, and the value transfer. Value transfer, we have been talking about it, which is the transfer of the cryptocurrency from one person to the other person. Even including transferring the NFT to the other person, it's expedited it, it simplified it. And that is the tokenizations. We make this the value or the asset into tokens, whether non-fungible or fungible. And authentications, it's just like us signing our transactions with our private key. It authentic anything on the blockchain for everything you do. And you can also use it, for example, to notarize something. For example, if I have a contract, like an actual contract written, and I hash this contract, the digital version, I hash it with my private key, and I send it with a transactions to the blockchain, and that put it permanent on the blockchain. If I do change any terms and conditions on the blockchain, to verify it, all I need to do is hash it again with the with my private key and check it against the hash that I put into the blockchain earlier on. If they do not tally, it means I have altered the information in this terms and conditions. So this is one way to use it as well. As an identity, as I mentioned earlier on, if a government want to use the blockchain and use the account as a national ID, it is one of the way of using the blockchain. And traceability. Now, everything on blockchain is traceable. So for example, just now I also mentioned, an enterprise can use a blockchain to trace their product, where the product from factory out to the retail and to the customer. There are certain things that issue might happen here is how you're gonna track it, using IoT or using any like tracking devices. So this involve other technology as well. When involving other technology, it make it more powerful, yet it also have some issue, which it might be expensive for us to solve now, but I'm pretty sure in the very near future, it will be much cheaper in terms of tracking each of the products. So how blockchain will affect our life? I would say that like every day of a life, one of the way you can use this blockchain is in gaming. Every one of us plays games, right? Whether a simple game or simulations or even RPG, sorry. And all these like e-sport or anything. What if that all these assets that like the virtual assets, for example, guns or some sword that like you use in a game can be turned into an NFT, and then you can transfer it to somebody else or sell it to somebody else, or any of these points you earn in the game is also a token, and all this game is run on a blockchain. It could be like this one day because there are already games that is building on the blockchain nowadays. And in the future, you could be using blockchain without knowing it. It's just like nowadays, people are using certain applications or gadgets without knowing that there are computer chips in it, without knowing that like it is connected to the internet. They just use it. Blockchain is going to be like this, in my opinion, in the very near future. In work, we need a lot more blockchain developer. We need people to promote about blockchain. So it definitely create a lot more jobs in the blockchain. I personally think blockchain is unavoidable. So why don't we just learn to manage it? And this is why I have been so much into the blockchain educations. And one last thing I want to mention over here is blockchain may be complicated, but it's not difficult. Look at these equations. It looks very complicated, but all you need to do is just identify which part to calculate first, and it will become something like this.
There are many ICO day by day, and the founder once said that his coin is for mobile payment, and the founder too said that their coin for insurance payment. So they are same based on blockchain, but what is the more different thing decide the purpose of the coin, and how can we check that is either the purpose is correct with what they say at the beginning?
We're talking about a specific project. I think there's a few things that you need to check is, first, I always like to check who are the team behind it, because a project could be very good, but whether the team would be able to bring it through, that is very important. Secondly, like the tokenomic I mentioned, I find that it's very important to look into that and to see whether it's a legit one or not. And thirdly, if they haven't launched yet, it's a bit difficult for you to check whether what they say is correct or not. But if they have already launched, is for every blockchain, if it's public, and then you can remember I mentioned that the blockchain, anybody can go and check on it. So if you can check on every transactions that happens on their project, then at least they are on the blockchain. Because at the very beginning, when I'm very, very new in this blockchain as well, then there are a lot of projects that is at the beginning, they are not launched yet, and they simply just say that they are going to do that, and then it never happened. That's why the ICO get quite a bit of bad name because of this. So the thing is go and check if they have already launched. If they say yes, check if you'll be able to check all these transactions on their Explorer and something like that. If they say that they're on the blockchain but there's no Explorer, you cannot check on anything, I'll be very doubtful about it. Yeah, this is usually just 3 things that I'll be looking into.